How's it going, everyone? It's Javi here from Weather Sponge 5000. Today is August 26, 2018, approximately 1:09 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we're going to check Tropical Storm Lane, as that seems to be the biggest topic as of currently, as we see Tropical Storm Lane just about 195 miles southwest of Honolulu, Hawaii. The winds have weakened significantly from 2 to 1 days, even 1 day ago, into 50 miles per hour, with the central pressure down to 998 millibars, and it is moving west at 9 miles per hour. And you can really see, based off of the image of this storm, based off of the satellite imagery, you could see that this storm is lacking really defining characteristics of development or convection. You could see that there's basically non-existent thunderstorm activity surrounding the center of circulation, and just outside of it we just see a couple of thunderstorms, but they're basically being blown off by the strong upper level winds that are basically going from east to west, and those are basically dragging those thunderstorms out away from the center of circulation, which isn't gonna really help that circulation to really rotate into that low pressure, which is supposed to be the eye of Tropical Storm Lane. But however, just because this is very weak, the main issue with Tropical Storm Lane has always been the rainfall, as we've seen record rainfall in many places in Hawaii. Many places, as the weather.com states right here, more than 40 inches of rain have been reported in at least 4 locations. And in Hilo, Hawaii, in the Big Island, I think it was reported that it has rained 31 inches, which is astonishing to say the least. And it is known to be the fourth leading tropical cyclone in terms of rainfall amounts in United States history. So this was definitely a big event for Hawaii, mainly due to the rain. We got plenty of rain from this, and then you can see here's a list. We obviously had Harvey, which, by the way, is its year anniversary since it made landfall. Ironically, to August 25th, 2017. It's the 26th now, but my point is that it's been just rainy with Hurricane Lane. As you can see, the 4th most rainiest tropical cyclone in U.S. history, which shows how devastating Hurricane Lane was going to be for Hawaii, and already is going to be for Hawaii based off of the flooding. You could see this video of flooding. You could see mudslides have been reported due to the heavy rain, and it has just caused total devastation. And the worst part is that it's still not over, because like I said before, we still have that very limited thunderstorm activity. It's getting blown away, but that doesn't mean it can't produce heavy rainfall still, as we still have some low pressure that's just over Hawaii, and although the upper level winds are gonna steer it out away from the center, limiting its potential strengthening, it's still gonna bring that rainfall, especially in the Big Island and Honolulu as well, which will increase flooding amounts and could increase the factor of mudslides later in this storm. So that is definitely not good news if you live in Hawaii. And as you can see, let me show you the current satellite, water vapor loop, and then you could see that the storm has just dissipated. Just 2-3 days ago, and even 4 days ago, it was a Category 5 hurricane, and it looked like a textbook hurricane. And now it's amazing how weather changes so quickly based off of just a small change in location, based off of only 100 miles of different distance. You could see that westerly wind shear has basically diminished this storm entirely, and it's basically going to get absorbed by this upper level low that we have that's just off the coast of California, and those winds are just going to basically dissolve this storm as it makes its track towards the west as we continue next couple of days. But I hope the best for Hawaii because I know they're suffering a lot from those heavy rains. There's also that storm surge threat with this storm, which also increased the damage of this storm, the potential damage of this storm. Although it wasn't that strong, most likely, it's still another factor to add on to what was already a difficult factor, which was the inland flooding and mudslides. And as of the winds, although the winds weren't too strong as expected because the storm thankfully took the more western track, staying offshore of the main islands of Hawaii, the winds didn't really need to be strong because all that rain that was produced by Hurricane Lane, which is now Tropical Storm Lane, basically saturated the grounds and it couldn't hold much more water. And when the ground is saturated and wet, it becomes much easier for even the smallest wind gusts to blow down these trees that are weakened by the saturated and wet soil. So it is definitely a terrible event for Hawaii, not something people will remember. And I just wish the best for the island because it's difficult, especially since Hawaii really has nowhere to run. It's not like the U.S., the lower 48, where you could move up north, east, west, or even south to evacuate from a hurricane. In the case of Hawaii, it's an island where you're basically trapped and you just need to stay safe in your shelter. So it's definitely not a good situation to be in Hawaii. And moving on to the next couple of tropical storms that are in development, still nothing in the Atlantic, which is almost a rare scenario. Well, it is a rare scenario because this will be a rare case where we won't see a hurricane. It's most likely we won't see any type of hurricane develop in the month of August, which is insane to see for the Atlantic, as it shows how weak this hurricane season has been for the Atlantic, which is definitely good news for most of the islands and including the U.S. Atlantic coast. And we hope it continues that way, but you know that September is supposed to be the most active month, so it could still change. And we're under this pattern where there's so much sticking air in the Atlantic, and I don't think that's going to last forever into September. I think there has to be at least one or two hurricanes that have to form in September, because I don't think a pattern like this could last that long. But other than that, in the Atlantic, we have two more Pacific tropical cyclones we need to watch, and in a way this has been contributing to the limited Atlantic development region, because when the Pacific is more active during a period of time, it's usually when the Atlantic isn't as active, because there's so much rising air in the Pacific. The air needs to sink somewhere, and it most likely sinks in the Atlantic. So this is why we're seeing increased amounts of tropical cyclone potential development in the Pacific and less in the Atlantic. But you could see that both of these have an 80% chance and a 90% chance of tropical cyclone formation in the next 5 days. So these are basically inevitably gonna develop as it's showing signs of organization. Let me look back at the radar or the water vapor loop, and you can see that here's this one storm. You can see it's starting to develop basically a core. It's not looking like a ragged it's not just looking like ragged features of thunderstorms. It's starting to really develop a core, and it looks very healthy for a tropical cyclone. But anyway, guys, I thank you guys for watching. Make sure to subscribe for more, and stay safe in Hawaii, and I hope you guys have a great day.